Hello my sexy beasts of subscribers and viewers. We shall be going into a 1v1 and it will be against Steven Seagull. Now I'm pretty pumped for this battle. He was about the same rank as me. I love those battles. Now the main problem I find with the match made, me and Surav the other day, we'll play in a 2v2. As you do, nothing too much. And what happens? We do a 2v2 match made. The first match made, we have 210 gold stars, and we're thinking, yeah, shit, we've probably lost this. I can't remember how the battle turned out. Oh yeah, they had some Donderbus cav and mounted gunners, that was very annoying. I drop hacked in German, out of a kind of a rage quit. I mean, wasn't horrible, I just said I'm not going to feed you, and yeah, we just kind of lost that battle. And then the second battle we play in match made is against two non-star opponents, which was just incredible, and then Surav wittily said in a British kind of way was that's Total War's balancing for you. So playing the extremes. Anyway, so this will be the battlefield, and it is on. I can't even remember what it's called now, but I do like this map. It's pretty interesting. I think of it as more of a more extreme Akai, AKI. Anyway. So the army I've bought loads of Naginata Samurai because I never bring Naginata Samurai and I wanted to give it a bash. I have had these veterans knocking around for a while. Naginata Samurai is a very versatile unit, but we'll go into that later. I bought some sword attendants just to so I had 192 Koku left straight off, so I thought yeah I'd bring them anyway. I've then also got some excellent Katana Samurai units, so I've got some 17 melee attack, 19, 15 and 15, so yeah they're not too excellent, but these are more my low-end sort of Katana units. Oh, what are these guys? Okay, they're third shock troopers. I'm trying to get all of my veterans to look like this because this looks coolest. So I've got Captain Cabinet sitting proudly on his horse, and then I've also got all of my veteran Yari Cav. So look at the chevrons. Oh, so look at those stats. They're pretty beasting. Anyway, my opponent, Steven Seagull. That's a pretty sweet name. Sounds like a superhero. So he's got some Naginata Samurai, also some Bulletproof Samurai, which is pretty nice. He's got some nice names if I remember. He's got two Warrior Monks, and this is the best name I've seen so far. Distance Assistance. That that is music. That is so nice. I love that name. And he's got some Naginata Warrior Monks to back them up. He's then also got some Nodachi with some beast stats, got some good charge, got some good melee attack. He's got some Katana Samurai, which are pretty, they're kind of the same as mine in terms of skill level and stats. And he's got some Naginata attendants at the back. He then has got Steven Seagull, who shall be his general of the day. And then he also has got some Katana swords, well, some Katana cavalry, Warrior Monk cav, and Yari cav. So let's get kicking into the battle. So the reason I like Naginata Samurai so much is because they are a versatile unit. As I said, they can beat cavalry, they can beat sword infantry if the conditions are kind of right. They got some good melee defense, and they're all round. They are a very strong unit. They don't get phased out too easily by missile units, as I said in the previous video with the 9 armor. So really, they are a beasting unit, and I've only just realised, but my veterans look a lot like Surav's army. Yeah, Surav, buddy, you're going to need to copyright that. So I'm going to try and move them to more of this kind of style army, because I think this colour scheme looks nicer, personally. Anyway, so ideas for this. He has got a lot of cavalry, but I've got more. Mine are to a better specification, just because I have got 4 Yari Cav to his 1, but he's also got some Monk Cav units. Mine are really going to have that bonus V Cav, which is going to be able to annihilate all of these units. So initially I was going to run for the Sword Dojo, but well, I was going to run up here, then go for the Sword Dojo, but then I decided I'll go back, because I don't really want him getting the Sword Dojo, because if he gets the Sword Dojo, his swords will kick ass. None of us are going to go for the Archery Dojo, just simply because we haven't really got any ranged units, to be honest with you. And these Naginata attendants are really only used for soaking up any missile fire or Nodachi. Oh no, he has got some bow samurai, hasn't he? Anyway, so I reveal all of my guys, and I take them back, I take them forward, because he will have the downhill advantage. He does an excellent job with spreading that nice line out, so he's got a full-on charge. People shouldn't really be using the kind of wedge formation that often, I don't think. So his, I think that's Yarikav. Yarikav is going to be steaming down the hill. They're going to annihilate me on the charge, but I will just manage to pull round and outnumber his cavalry, and I'll also be able to outdo his cavalry simply because I've got some insane stats on all of those cavalry units. I do manage to get the surround on these guys. They're being attacked from the rear. They're not liking it. These, or are they Prayful Killers? That's a pretty sweet name. So they should be going soon, and then also his Katana units won't be a match for my Yarikav. To be honest, I did say to him, this is pretty damn lucky in the chat, because he did get the downhill charge, but at the same time, I think it's just down to the quality of my units, but also down to the fact that I did have a lot more. I did pull Captain Cabinet over just to give some support to my troops, and Captain Cabinet does scare enemies, as you'll see in the box below the minimap. So I'll take these guys up, having won the initial skirmish with cavalry. I take my most depleted unit off the field to go capture the workshop, because that is really what I'm going to be aiming for with this Naginata army, is for that melee defense. What I then begin to do is that I see that his army is nicely spread out. He's beginning to attack me with his Naginata samurai. I will pull these guys out of the way, and I take my sword units to the flanks because what's going to happen here is that he's going to charge my melee defense wall, my Naginata wall, and what I'm going to have to do is just keep all my sword units back. The reason I've kept this one in the centre here is primarily to support any gaps, just to fill up any gaps. So I don't know if these three went in that direction, this one went in that direction, there'll be a big gap here, and these sword infantry units will just be able to fill it. That's primarily the reason why I took it. Both of our Nodachis, I think, take a good charge at each other, but oh no, mine has still got the better stats. I don't think he quite popped off a Banzai, it doesn't look like. This would be an ideal time for him to pull off a Banzai, because really his morale just shoots up. He's getting some supporting units, so it does go up, but then it comes back down. He's then beginning to attack my line full on. So that's looking quite nice, a barrage of colours. Pretty interesting. And then he does attack me from this flank with some pretty good Naginata Warrior Monk units. I really should have spread these guys out a lot more and charged at him. I don't think I quite managed to get the charge off there. And these guys aren't actually going to be engaging, so I will be putting my general into stand and fight. My Nodachi on this flank is getting a good battering. And my cavalry over on this side are just still capturing, but I think they have now captured it. Where's my cavalry? Okay, my cavalry at this point, I did charge him down to try and hit in the back, hammer and anvil, but unfortunately his bows are going to be able to pick them off, and his spear units. He then puts his general into stand and fight, and I managed to get a really nice surround with this cavalry here, and I will be charging straight into his general. He will see this, and this will probably be one of his biggest mistakes, I think. I think he pulls off all of his men on this flank, to go off, but he really had to keep on fighting this flank, because he's got some Naginata attendants to run in support, and really he has to pull back on this flank because he nearly won it. My Naginata samurai were nearly broken, so he could have had this flank if he just kept on attacking. He'll shoot his bows very intelligently at my general. That's what he has to be doing. That's what you should be doing, and that's Captain Cabinet in his awesome winged armour. And he has managed to break through, which is not looking good at this point. I'm crapping myself. So then I begin to reallocate some units. I send my Katana troops over to this flank to try and support. But I do manage to win this flank. I have a Yari unit on the way, and my cavalry is still over here, sustaining very heavy losses against the general. So it's kind of a bit balanced at the moment, but you can just begin to see that his guys just haven't got the willpower anymore. He has got the melee attack dojo, but I've got the defense, and that's really what's going to be able to win it for me, as my Naginata samurai have got 18 melee defense. So that's kind of how the battle's going to be playing out a little bit. I do manage to charge my general back in for another volley, just for another good old hit, and then I do manage to charge my Yarikav back out. Did I say general or cav? I better have said cav. So I then just be able to get the surround. These Katana units were fighting those monks up on the top corner there, and that's pretty much it. So, ooh, I love those fire effects. So that was a very, very good game, a very tough one indeed. I was worrying heavily, especially about this flank over here. I was crapping myself for that one. But you know, it's still very, very good. Thoroughly enjoyed it, as I do enjoy most of my games. I will be having some more 1v1s. I'm starting to play this game much, much more often, which is good. And these guys are going to have a very tired and slow charge at these bow monks, but they will be able to just chop them down nonetheless. And I think the rest of his army just routs. So, Valley of the Death they rode, it looks like. Got those Nodachi just trailing on back. And, yep, that's how the battle left me. That's how it left Captain Cabinet. He is literally just twitching his fingers. He has 3 bodyguards left, so they're going to have to protect him nicely on his way home to his home castle. So, that was the battle. I hope you enjoyed it. And, as I said in the previous one, we will be having some more battles upcoming. And the legendary tactics are going to be on, hopefully. Primarily, it's all going to be next week, as I said, because I'm doing my exams. I'm just finishing them off this week. But really, I just want to kind of go into a little bit more depth of the tactics. It's going to be more basic stuff, so I don't know, I'd say more veteran players like Surav and Amaterasu, you know, Goran. You wouldn't really be too interested in them. It might have 1 or 2 things you might kind of like or might not know. But really, I think it will help mainly the players who are just starting out. It's going to be really, really basic stuff. I mean, I'm no expert, but it's just little things which I think people should generally just know about. And then we might just be able to expand it even further. So here's going to be the replay, or the stats. So he brought 200 more men than me, and I did just about manage to kill 200 more men than him. So 5th Shock Troopers did an exceptional job. Happy Spear Sword, Naginata. I'm trying to come up with new names for these guys. I managed to get some nice ones for my warrior monks. But yeah, I mean, there's a battle for you. So Naginata, a samurai, did pretty darn well. Yeah, it's kind of all she wrote, really. The cavalry was very, very key in that battle because they managed to take out his mobility so I could strike at his general. That was really going to be one of the biggest influences of the battle. So I just want to look at this. Chuck Norris's Elves, Shoot Me. It's pretty good names. I do like them. Or Seagulls, Assassins. It's good. So yeah, I mean, I hope you did enjoy it. I love that one though. Distance Assistance. Oh, that's so good. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. And bye for now.